Hi, I'm Tadas. I'm a senior studying computational linguistics, and I'm fluent in Lithuanian, Spanish, and English. And I have various degrees of proficiency in Portuguese, French, Japanese, Italian, and Turkish. I think the main thing that motivated me originally to start was honestly my family. I'm half Lithuanian and half Turkish, so it's a big family of different languages. And I grew up most of my life in Miami. So that was the main thing that pushed me, because if I didn't want to learn the languages, I literally couldn't communicate with my family. So yeah. Yeah, so when I first came to USC, I already had some baseline knowledge in a bunch of different languages. I would say that I definitely was confident with my Lithuanian and English, and then Spanish was okay. That was more just because that was the one I spent the most time learning. And then once I got here, I took a bunch of different classes. So I've taken various Spanish classes. Right now I'm taking Italian and Japanese. And yeah. I think that the best advice I would give for learning a language is to find the reason why you're learning it and adapt for what you need. So for example, if you're trying to make friends, if you're trying to move to the place that the language is being spoken, learn it through socializing. Make friends that speak that language. Find people on campus that are learning that language or that already speak it. And there's a lot of programs that can help you with that. Yeah, so for grammar, vocab, I'm a little bit of a nerd, so I use this thing called Anki that if you're studying medicine, you're probably really familiar with it. It's a spaced repetition program that you do by yourself, but it's like the best thing. Like I have never felt anything that works as good as this. So, like for people who are studying medicine, it's whatever you need it to be. So you create the flashcards, and then Anki has a system that already brings it to you at the right time. It's used this thing called spaced repetition. And so I put every language that I'm studying, I literally have like different decks of cards and stuff. I think that it can be hard to lose motivation, especially when you get past the beginning stage. But I think the main way to keep motivated is to just make the language part of your life. If you have someone that you already established a relationship that you're like, oh, I'm gonna go and practice like Italian with them, and then you show up and then they're like so excited to talk to you and you don't show up, well, yeah, you can feel like that's a little bit of like a kick in the butt. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to be motivated. And it's whatever you feel that you need it to be. I think that what I like to do, which I think some people may find awkward, but it's just pretend that you don't speak English. Like, I'm not talking about like, yeah, of course the person knows that you speak English, but imagine you're in a conversation. Imagine that the person you're talking to doesn't speak English. You have to figure it out. You have to be confident. And if you mess up, that's fine. You probably mess up sometimes in English if that's even your native language. So when you're having a conversation with someone and you just keep on pushing through because you're like, this is the only way I can communicate. And if it's in a fun environment, it really helps with the pressure and to feel confident. Yeah, I think that a breakthrough moment I have consistently with pretty much any language that I try learning is that there's sometimes these moments that you're in a conversation or you're listening to someone talk and you're like, wow, I really understood what they said. Like it wasn't even that I caught a word or something. It was like, no, I really understood what they said. And that happens when you're watching a show, happens when I'm talking to someone or listening to someone, and it comes out of nowhere. Like there's no way to prepare for it. And I'm always like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, so I'm a really big traveler. I've been to almost 40 countries, and pretty much every single country that I go to, I try to learn a little bit of the language. And that is like, that's a game changer. When you're able to speak a little bit of the language, it connects you on such a different level. Now you're not just being some tourist that is just kind of walking through the place. You can maybe order coffee, you can start talking with locals, you can learn a little bit more than you would by just walking around. So it's always enhanced my experience, 100%. Yeah, so I'm a big music person. I'm a musician. I really love listening to music. Like even if I have no idea what a song is saying, that's like the number one thing that I do when I start learning a language. So it's like for Italian, I have like random Italian rappers. Like for Spanish, of course, there's like reggaeton and that's really popular. But that's like the number one thing for me. Like my playlist is literally just like all of the languages I'm learning in like one massive mix.
Do you write your music in non-English languages, or do you write in English when you're writing music?
I'm not a big like lyrics person.
Okay.
So that doesn't really go with it. But like if I am writing something, like especially art-wise, like poetry or something, I will feel that maybe sometimes I can express an idea better in Lithuanian or Spanish. I hope to get there with like my Turkish and stuff, but yeah, it depends. I think that getting involved with other cultures that are not your own is, honestly, I feel like it's kind of a fundamental thing that we should all be doing. I have a little bit of bias because I have a family that already comes from different cultures, but what that has allowed me to do is to just have a better understanding of the world, of the people that are around you. Not everyone is going to be from your culture, and especially in a place like LA, this is one of the most multicultural cities in the world. And just having a little bit more understanding of the people that are around you, I mean, it changes everything. It changes what you buy, it changes what you listen to, what are your opinions of, the way that you go about life. It's like one of the most important things to me. Right, so I've taken some basic classes, like they're just like, Spanish 4 or something. And those are good, but for actually like really fun classes, right now I'm taking Span 409 with Sarah Portnoy, and that's like, it has been amazing. It's literally a class that we go every Wednesday. We either have some classes that are in more lecture style, and others where we'll visit farmers markets, we'll visit school gardens. The class is about food justice, and it's all in Spanish. So like we're meeting local people that are in LA, we're meeting their local businesses, and literally yesterday we just went to a farmer's market with a lot of farmers who speak Spanish, and it has been really fun. I also took a class called Conversational Spanish, which I think is like 280. And that was just a great opportunity to have a Spanish class that was way less pressure. That was just like, yeah, talk about whatever it is. Yeah.